The holidays can be a fun and festive time for the whole family, of course, but there's also some hidden dangers that you need to worry about for your whole family as we go throughout this process. I'm Count Gaspy. Thanks so much for joining us. Joined by Jessica Pescatore, the clinical director of the Alabama Poison Information Center, also known as the APIC here at Children's of Alabama. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
So again, a fun time, but some things you need to watch out for. And let's jump right in and talk about the holiday decor. You're getting set up for the holiday
Oh, yes.
season, all these nice decorations, but some you got to be careful with.
Absolutely. These are, of course, the things that keep the holidays festive and magical. And there is a lot we could talk about.
Yeah.
But we're going to focus on one category that we actually receive a lot of calls at the Poison Center about this time of year, and that's poisonous plants. And so we're going to start with just two very common plants that are used over the holidays, starting with the holly. Now, this is a very hardy plant.
Yeah.
So it's interesting in that you may not only encounter it in your household as decor, but also in the outdoors because it survives these cold temperatures. And what we really worry about with holly plants and holly bushes are these sweet little red berries that are very, very appealing and attractive to
Toddlers
small
love
children.
to reach out, and younger than that.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And even pets.
Mhm.
And they also can fall from the trees and the bushes and the plants very easily. So the berries themselves are actually what contain the toxin we're concerned about. And if consumed in very large amounts, can cause pretty significant issues with the tummy.
Mm.
So we're talking about things like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and of course complications can come from that, especially in small children.
So if a child happens to ingest one or two of those, should the parent go ahead and call the APIC to find out what to do?
Absolutely. With any exposure, please give us a call at 1-800-222-1222, and one of our nurse or pharmacist specialists can give you more information on if the amount ingested is going to be a problem and what to look out for.
They're always there for guidance.
That's exactly right. And so a second common plant, and thankfully this one actually is not nearly as toxic as maybe some of the others, but very, very popular, is the poinsettia. Now with this particular plant, it's actually the leaves that we're concerned about. Still very similar symptoms, a lot of stomach upset and pain and cramping, nausea and vomiting. But that generally occurs with much larger ingestions of multiple leaves.
Right.
So if you are going to have live poinsettias in the home, always best to keep them up and out of reach.
So the holiday decor, the plants, that's one of the concerns as you're getting ready for the holiday
That's right.
season. And then you have the gift days,
Yes.
when your kids are getting the gifts, and there are some concerns there too, things you need to be careful of.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, it's an exciting time. We
Yes.
have guests over, there's changes in schedule. With that, changes in routine can lead to maybe some accidents. And that's just what happens. So first and foremost, always want to have supervised play of toys
Yeah.
because anything can be a choking risk. But what we really worry about as it relates to toys and gifts is the things that power them.
Right.
So all batteries can be a choking hazard as well, but in particular, we really worry about these disc-shaped or button batteries. As you can see, they come in a variety of sizes, including very, very small ones. And also they come in packages containing multiple, potentially small batteries, where after you only need the one, you kind of have to figure out what to do with the
Yeah.
rest of them.
Mhm.
So we always say, package them up neatly, locked up in a bin. Don't just kind of throw them around or put them in the junk drawer, as we're all somewhat guilty of. But these can actually cause some really bad damage to the mouth, to the throat, to your respiratory system and your GI system, and cause really bad burns. And so we want to be extra, extra cautious about gifts, watches, toys that require those disc batteries.
Certainly have to watch out for those throughout the holiday season and really any time of
Year
year because you
round.
have birthdays as well.
That's exactly
that
right.
might bring that about as well. When you think holidays, you also think meals,
Mhm.
and that leads to the meal prep and the meal cleanup, which can lead to some minor issues
Yes,
as well,
yes,
right?
yeah. And the cleanup isn't always the most fun part,
No.
but you do want to get your kitchen clean. You want to get that oven clean, especially after all the drippings and the pies and
Right.
all the great things that are coming out of that oven. So it is very common that we see exposures to oven cleaners
Right.
this time of year. And the key thing to think about with those cleaners is if they are powerful enough to cut through that grease and grime, they are also powerful enough to cause a lot of damage to your skin, to
Right.
your mouth, to your eyes. And so you want to be very cautious when using these products. Use the appropriate eye protection, gloves, skin protection, and do not leave them out where children can access them easily.
It's another one of those things where that's appealing to a toddler to pick that up and maybe try to squirt it around and things. So
Absolutely.
if it's sitting there, they're going to be tempted by it.
Correct. And something we see often is, these products often required a little bit of contact time.
Mhm.
So naturally, you'll spray your oven, you'll go about your cleaning, and then you'll come back when it's time to wipe it down. Sometimes we forget to wipe it down. It's human nature. So
Mhm.
just always remembering to set a timer to come back and wipe the oven clean. Something else that comes up with cleaning is cleaning the bathroom after you've had a lot of guests come through. What we often encounter is the mixing of chemicals.
Mhm.
So, some chemicals you want to stay away from mixing, even though it might seem like it might give you a cleaner surface, is bleach and ammonia,
Yeah,
and
very
also
dangerous.
bleach and an acid, which is commonly found in toilet bowl cleaners.
Hmm.
So, those two unique combinations can actually create a vapor that can be very, very toxic and very irritating.
So it's good to be aware of what you're using and how it might interact with some other things that you might
Correct.
also be using.
Correct. And always call the Poison Center if there's ever any concern that there's been a mixing of chemicals or any household cleaning products that someone may have gotten into, as well as plants, toys, batteries. We're always available 24/7 to help guide you.
And once again, what's that number to call?
That is 1-800-222-1222.
All right, Jessica Pescatore, Clinical Director of the Alabama Poison Information Center here at Children's of Alabama. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.